Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, Schneider Hospital officials took their turn Thursday morning to testify on their fiscal year 2016 budget before the Finance Committee. The medical center's executive not only defended their recommended budget, but told the Senate they needed more help from the general fund to properly serve the community's medical needs. News 2's April Knight has more.
Schneider Hospital CEO Bernard Wheatley and his team faced the Senate Finance Committee on Thursday. They made clear that the $22.4 million budget recommended for the medical center for 2016 is not enough.
Based on the projected FY 2016 operating budget and financial trends listed in Appendix 1, SRMC would need about $8.7 million in additional funding to break even.
Roughly a third of their operating expenses goes to personnel, an area that could still use some work, according to Wheatley.
We always need key positions. It's very hard to find sometimes, respiratory therapists or obviously certain physicians that we need in key areas. So no, we're not up to speed in all that, but we can continue to recruit the best we can.
Government appropriations have already dropped by about a third over the last 9 years. According to Wheatley, the medical center is projecting a $7 million net loss for the current fiscal year. That's compared to 2014, when their actual net loss was $1.1 million. The medical center continues to hemorrhage money to uncompensated care or services that they rendered without getting paid. In 2014, that amount was $28.7 million. So far in 2015, it's already up to $16.8 million, and that's just for the first 8 months. The government appropriations don't even fully cover those uncompensated care costs. In addition, the Virgin Islands gets woefully underpaid by Medicaid and Medicare, only getting about 65% compared to the 100% reimbursement for American Samoa. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Lawmakers also urged Schneider officials to resolve the issue of thousands of square feet of hospital space being shared by the Department of Health for free. Well, senators now know that Property and Procurement Commissioner nominee Randolph Bennett doesn't have the master's degree he said he did. Bennett came under fire from lawmakers this week during his nomination hearing. Rules Committee Chair Kenneth Gittens received confirmation from Liberty University that Bennett needs to complete his internship to complete the degree program.
Mr. Bennett, based on his experience alone, shows us that he is certainly qualified to be the Commissioner of Property and Procurement. However, his qualifications are not what is in question. But when there's a situation where someone seems to be stretching the truth, I certainly take exception to that and have to consider how many other partial truths may have been given during testimony. So in this case, his credibility and character is what is in question and what concerns me.
The Dominican Republic stands firm in its decision to expel thousands upon thousands of migrants of Haitian descent, even those born within its borders. One former DR politician sheds light on the chronic conflict between the two nations. Persistent Haitian migration to other nations, meanwhile, also touches the Virgin Islands. News 2's April Knight has that story.
In spite of international outrage, the Dominican Republic is moving forward with plans to round up and deport hundreds of thousands of undocumented and documented Haitian migrants, including children of Haitian descent born in the DR. Critics claim the DR policy is racist. Dominicans are generally lighter-skinned, and the country's history is marked by a Jim Crow-like treatment of blacks.
Trujillo. Dictatorship Trujillo. Trujillo killed around more or less 20 or 15,000 people from Haiti. Why? Because Trujillo wanted to clean the Dominican Republic of the person, the black person.
Clean the race, you say?
Yes, clean the race.
Organized criminal groups are also fueling the already volatile migration situation between Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
Between Dominican Republic and Haiti, we have a mafia. Traffic human and traffic merchandise, different products. But the big problem is the human traffic.
The dire situation in Haiti that drives people across the border to the DR also ripples to the Virgin Islands. People try to flee the country in overloaded boats. Most recently, one of those boats ended up off of St. John only last month and apprehended by the Coast Guard. The Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, is certainly taking notice. It has already asked the DR to stop the deportations. For News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, one lawmaker told News2 that he is working on legislation which, if passed, would express the Virgin Islands Senate's views on the deportations. In other news, police are investigating a homicide. They say on Thursday, July 16th at roughly 8 a.m., officers responded to Bordeaux to investigate the report that there was a body of a male in the area received from a concerned citizen, stating that a male had been shot in the area and was probably dead. Responding officers, which included Criminal Investigation Bureau, K-9, and Forensics, conducted an inspection of the surroundings and discovered an unresponsive Hispanic male. The victim had sustained several gunshot wounds to his body and was pronounced dead. Anyone with information concerning this homicide may phone the Major Crimes Unit. That number is 340-714-9823 or 911. At roughly 3:30 a.m. on Thursday, July 16th, officers met with a 21-year-old victim at the Roy Lechner Schneider Hospital who stated that on the morning of the 16th at roughly 2 a.m., he'd exited the club Camouflage located in the Foreign's Plaza and was walking to his vehicle. Someone called out his name and an unknown male fired multiple shots at him. The victim sustained a gunshot to his lower back and leg. Now, in a second incident, a 47-year-old male was shot in the vicinity of the Embers Guest House located in Estate Content. Officers responded to the Schneider Hospital. The victim stated that on Thursday, July 16th at 12:30 a.m., he'd been walking alongside the roadway near the Embers Guest House. According to the victim, several shots were suddenly fired from a vehicle, and he jumped into the bushes. The victim was treated for a graze to the lower back. VIPD officials touched on a number of areas during a press conference on Wednesday, and one of those was the situation with Crime Stoppers USVI. Police disagreed with officials of Crime Stoppers who said they weren't getting enough cooperation from the VIPD. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
2 weeks ago, officials from Crime Stoppers USVI announced they're closing up shop effective July 1st.
Effective tomorrow, July 1st, Crime Stoppers USVI will no longer be active.
Their main reasons: dwindling tips.
We have to rely on good forensic investigation in able to solve these cases. Why folks are not talking on the streets.
And a lack of support from the VI Police Department, who they say lack the manpower to work the tips coming in from Crime Stoppers. Police Commissioner Delroy Richards disagrees.
The VI Police Department, from day one, have extended its arms to Crime Stoppers because I believe that Crime Stoppers was a valuable tool.
Commissioner Richards said he appointed police staffers to work with Crime Stoppers.
I provided Crime Stoppers with a point person in each district. That person was recommended to me by Crime Stoppers. What went wrong along the way, can't tell you.
Crime Stoppers USVI has suspended operations for 6 months and will reevaluate whether to restart then. Richards would like to see the service open. In the meantime, police officials say they still want the community's cooperation to provide tips to help solve crimes.
The community has to help us. They've been helping us. We've been grateful for the help that we've gotten so far, but we want to ensure that they continue to make those calls into us.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Keeping the islands clean is what it's all about. Inmates were seen assisting with the Can 7 cleanup project on St. Thomas this week. According to officials from the Bureau of Corrections, the Bureau partners with various government agencies and community organizations to keep our islands clean and have done quite a few projects around the island. The individuals in Orange Bottoms, those are the inmates. Other volunteers joined in to lend a hand as well. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. As we can see, everything's up. The Dow up 70, NASDAQ 64, S&P 500 16. Coming up on News 2, if you like hot sauce, then the Hotel Comanche Palm Garden is the place to be Saturday for the 3rd annual 40 Strand on Fire hot sauce competition. Plus, summer and sailing go hand in hand. It looks simple, however, there's a lot that go into smooth sailing. Details from a summer camp underway. Women Striving for Success, Inc., which is a nonprofit organization comprised of the top female business leaders of the Virgin Islands, will be welcoming new members into that organization in an induction ceremony that's being scheduled for July 24th at 6 p.m. The organization's second ever induction of new members marks its continued growth from its beginning as an informal grassroots movement in 2012. The ceremony will feature remarks from both Women Striving for Success, Inc.'s executive board, and Cornell Williams, president of International Capital Management Company, who will be speaking about leadership. Women Striving for Success is continuously accepting applications for membership, which can be downloaded from womenstrivingforsuccess.org. Well, the government of the Virgin Islands will be hosting its 4th annual Health and Wellness Expo series beginning on Tuesday, September 15th at Sunshine Mall in St. Croix. From 10 to 4, and then on September 18th at UVI on St. Thomas, also from 10 to 4, so you can mark that on the calendar. The expos are specifically geared towards the participation of all government employees and retirees. Throughout the course of these events, they will be conducting free screenings for blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, and body mass index, BMIs. However, the larger goal is to exhibit to attendees the vast variety of services available on island. Now, if you would like to participate as a vendor, you can call 774-8588, extension 5114. The Virgin Islands Department of Education wishes to inform the parents and guardians of students who have not already received book packages supplied by the schools as part of the 7th annual Governor's Summer Reading Challenge that books may be picked up at the schools during regular business hours throughout the summer months. Book packages were delivered to each of the territory's public, private, and parochial elementary schools before the close of the 2014-15 school year. The 7th annual Governor's Summer Reading Challenge encourages students in grades K to 6, kindergarten to 6, to read 5 or more books during the summer months. Participants will be rewarded with a celebration and prizes. The challenge will run through September 11th. Well, they might not be competing in this year's Toronto Games, but the students from a Frederickstead sailing camp will be ready for competition in a few years. This 2-week camp is teaching the students all about boating, and another session is getting ready to start next week. News 2's Erica Parsons has the story.
Every summer, Frederickstead residents see the distinctive red and white sails on the water.
We've got many that have gone on to go to Annapolis Academy.
16 years ago, Susan Beach was one of the people who started the Frederickstead Community Boating Summer Camp for students aged 8 to 16.
I had so much fun in sailing school, sailing lessons when I was growing up on Cape Cod. I said, oh, I just have to create this here.
Students learn everything about sailing, from safety and navigation to rigging their own boat.
We keep a rubric that is designed by the U.S. Sailing Association, and at the end of the 2 weeks, they have their book that indicates that they completed the various skills.
Their instructors have all competed nationally, and the 2 weeks students spend on the water prepares them for sunfish sailing.
The big thing that we teach here is where the wind is coming from, and then how to adjust your sails and your course based on where the wind's coming from.
They don't really realize it, but they're learning a little bit of physics and math at the same time that they're kinesthetically navigating the winds and getting their boat to move smoothly.
The young sailors take their prams out on their own almost from day one, and that's where the lessons they've learned have to kick in. Sailing is not always fun. In fact, it's mostly hard work, but worth it. And when done right, those little sailors can keep up with the best of them. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Congrats to the young sailors. Now, the next 2-week session begins on Monday, July 20th, and there are spaces available as well as scholarships. The number to call is 772-2482 or 201-8627 for more information. Well, if you like hot sauce, then the Hotel Comanche Palm Garden is a place to be Saturday for the 3rd annual 40 Strand on Fire hot sauce competition. Sponsored by the Crew de Croix, there will be hot sauces of every variety, from mild to the hottest of the hot, for meats, fish, poultry, and even dessert. All are available for the public to taste and purchase. There will also be music, entertainment, and a performance by Kiki and the Flaming Gypsies. Registration is at 2 p.m. and awards at 5 p.m. Are you ready for some big action this weekend? Innovative has once again partnered with Dollar and a Dream Entertainment to bring a weekend of epic events to the U.S. Virgin Islands. The weekend of events will begin with the popular We Got Jokes VI comedy show, featuring one of the original kings of comedy, Cedric the Entertainer, on Friday, July 17th at the UVI Sports and Fitness Center. Then on Saturday, July 18th and Sunday, July 19th, concert goers will be entertained by world-renowned musical artists including Barrington Levy, Third World, Future, Destra, Precious, Spice, Don Omar, and much, much more.
I'm here, I'm here. This is my first time down on the island, and I'm ready to rock out. Comedy, enjoy the people and the whole weekend, the festivities. Comedy for me was, it was a kind of a natural thing. I mean, I have a funny family like a lot of people, and I was inspired coming up by, of course, like the greats, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. This year I produced my sitcom, The Soul Man. I do that for TV Land, and so that stars me and Niecy Nash. I've been in my 4th season. We just wrapped that up, and then I also produce another a television show called Cedric's Barber Battle.
The event has been planning since December last year. We do the We Got Jokes comedy show twice a year, and usually some solid artists, but none of this gentleman next to me, his stature, so we wanted to kick it off, the first of many USVI Music Fest. We had to go get, one of the kings of comedy. So it's gonna be exciting. We start that off on Friday, which is tomorrow. We're gonna kick it off with the We Got Jokes comedy show. Then Saturday we got Destra, Future, Barrington Levy, Poison, Chemistry, Mike Larry, Payback. We got a full lineup for you guys on Saturday, and then on Sunday, of course, we have Don Omar, T-Vice, Spice, Black Chiney, Kylo, and the Staley Band. This is the week to be in the Virgin Islands. Yeah.
Congratulations to members of Dollar and a Dream, Tito, Kyle, and Fred. Well, the Virgin Islands Lottery is pleased to showcase the Summer Paradise ticket. The photographs featured include the beauty and bounty of our island's agriculture and feathered friends. The sole photographer on this ticket was Mr. Charles Peters of St. Croix. If you purchase a sheet of the VI Lottery ticket, let's see if you're a winner.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Here are the top prizes. 5th prize for $20,000, 04016, 04016. 4th prize for $30,000, 19908, 19908. 3rd prize for $40,000, 08300, 08300. 2nd prize for $65,000, 32542, 32542. And the winning ticket for the grand prize of $175,000 is 16902. 16902. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is July 30th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
And good luck as you check those tickets. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.